more for you, you feel it. You know it. This is your life, and it's time to go from contender to champion. This is The Show. John Madsen.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. I'm your host, John Madsen. This is The Show. I'm super excited to be here once again. I've got a great episode for you. If you have hit a plateau in your fitness and you know that the effort is there, you're putting in the effort, you're hitting the gym 3 to 5 times a week, you seem to be doing the right things, but you're stuck. If you've hit what seems to be a revenue ceiling in your business, despite your effort, this episode's for you. Because once again, a lot of the frameworks that I'm going to use can be applied to fitness, can be applied to business, can be applied to your relationships. If you followed this show for any amount of time, that's what it's about. Optimizing your life and taking it to the next level. Today, I want to dig into one of the biggest misconceptions to performance. And I also want to break your belief pattern. A belief pattern that you've been running since before you can even remember, that's holding onto this notion that effort is going to yield all the results that you want. The reason that this belief pattern is so hard to break is that it's been taught to us by example many times. It's been spoken to us by some of the world's best speakers, by some of the world's best coaches, by some of the world's best athletes. I've talked extensively about it, but we have to put it in this framework so that you can understand that it's not the end-all be-all. And what I'm talking about here is people, you, overemphasize effort and underemphasize execution. I've sat here and I've yelled into the microphone how important putting effort is into whatever it is you want to accomplish. And that's true. But if you have a formidable opponent, an opponent that can beat you, whether that's fitness, whether that's a relationship, whether it's the business or career that you are in right now, if it's formidable and it can beat you, you're going to have to execute at a very high level. You're going to have to execute with precision. You can't just out-effort everything. And think back, a lot of times we've grown up in households where a parent or both parents or somebody that we completely look up to seemingly put enormous amounts of effort into their jobs, into providing for the family. And despite all of those efforts, you still saw people who had more than you. And not that having more is the most important thing. But what I'm trying to get at is that effort doesn't always equal the reward that you're after. Working hard is essential for your success, but working hard over everything, if you're working hard in the wrong places, if you're spinning your wheels, if you're running around like a rabbit with your head cut off, hard work isn't the thing that's going to take you to the next level. Executing with precision in the areas that matter most, doing the right things very, very well, not everything okay, is going to be the thing that makes a difference. So if our unconscious mind was developed, they say between the ages of 0 and 7, everything you see, everything you hear seeps directly into your unconscious, a lot of times we're taught that lesson very, very early. Hard work, hard work, hard work, hard work, hard work. And then our favorite athletes tell us the same thing. And then our favorite coaches tell us the same thing. And I want to shift gears and talk about fitness for a second and give you an example. When I go to a public gym, I'm very observant of everything that's going on because I want to know. I want to know what your pain is. I want to know what the people are going through. I want to know what they're doing. So when I speak, and when I'm speaking about fitness, because that's what I do, I can speak directly to what you're going through. And here's what I see. The people who are there are putting in effort most of the time. I see people around me who are working way fucking harder than I'm working. In a sense. I'll explain that in a minute. But to an outsider, I guess what I'm trying to say, to an outsider, they're working harder. I'm working really fucking hard at the important things. But what I see everybody else doing is pounding pavement on the treadmill, putting in hours on the fucking elliptical, circuiting thing to thing to thing to thing. I see dudes with a t-shirt that you can wring out the amount of sweat. The look on their faces scream pain. And they're literally kicking their own ass day after day after day. And then they go into the locker room, throw off their shirt, look in the mirror, and they still look average. And I've talked about this a lot on this show. I'm taking 2 to 3 minutes rest. A lot of the times I leave the workout and I didn't even break a big sweat. Not that breaking a sweat is bad. I'm just focused on the result, and I know how to get that result. So I'm not guessing. I'm not wasting time. If I want to sweat, I can fucking do 500 jumping jacks or burpees. Any dumbass trainer can make a workout hard. And I know this is a problem because every new client I take on, they're going to ask about the rest intervals. John, these rest intervals are too long. I just need to go, go, go. My body feels like blah, blah, blah. Every time someone starts a statement with my body, blah, 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 it's almost like they want to think that their body's different than science. Whole nother topic, whole nother day. But the feeling that you have to go, 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 and if you don't completely beat the shit out of yourself in a workout, that's where we're going wrong. That's where, at a certain point, execution is going to trump effort. Working smart is going to trump just working hard for the sake of working hard. The reason people get it wrong is because in the beginning, effort is going to move the needle. If you're a beginner, if you have 50 pounds to lose, if you haven't been working out, just putting effort in more today than you were putting in yesterday, that's going to move the needle up until a certain point. But I'm talking to you if you've hit the plateau. If you're like, fuck man, I go to the gym, I'm putting effort in, it's been a year, I look at the pictures of me in my bathing suit, my bikini, my reflection in the mirror, and I just look the same. I'm putting effort in. That's when you have to ask the different question. What if it's not about effort? What if my effort is already there? What if I shift my effort into executing with precision? When I go to the gym, I'll take rest intervals. I'm not circuiting around like a chicken with my head cut off. I'm putting effort into the task at hand with focus, laser-like focus. To an outsider, dude next to me sweating his ass off is working harder than me. To somebody who knows, understands that I'm putting effort in the direct right place that's going to get me that result. It's almost like a magnifying glass. You know when you're a kid and you shine the light through the sun and the magnifying glass gets so hot that it can start a fire almost? It's like someone having a magnifying glass and moving that light all around. It's maybe just a little bit too much, but it's never pointed in with precision to stay in the same fucking spot with focus that's going to light that flame. That's what I think about when I work out. I'm laser focused on the things that are going to make the difference. When 99% of the other people are running around doing a bunch of exercises they see on Instagram, maybe they're 2% off, but that 2% off over time is costing them results. I'm going to give you another example that is probably one of my favorite examples of execution. Back at the University of Utah, we're in this wide receiver meeting, position meeting. So what that means to you for anybody who hasn't played football at a high level, after team meetings, you're broken into small groups, your position, and the position coach runs those meetings. It's kind of rare for a head coach to burst into one of these position meetings unless somebody's ass is in trouble or it's just super important. Anyways, we're sitting in this wide receiver meeting. We have North Carolina coming up, and Urban Meyer bolts into the room. All of us sit back a little straighter, pay attention a little harder. We're like, what the heck is coach doing in here? Who's in trouble? He goes right over to the chalkboard. He's frantically drawing X's and O's and draws up this play talking 1,000,000 miles per hour, saying how we're going to run this fucking play over and over and over again, and they have no way to stop it. Urban was watching film, saw a hole in a defense, came bursting into our wide receiver meeting, drew up a play, and told us that we're going to run this play maybe 50 times against North Carolina. We're like, okay. So at one point in the game, Alex Smith's calling a play in the huddle, calls this play that Urban Meyer, a couple days prior, drew up on our board. We get chunk yardage. Alex hits a receiver. Can't remember exactly how many yards or who it was. Next play gets called in, calls the same play. Okay, it's not too odd that we run the same play twice in a row. Hits another receiver. Back in the huddle, same play. Another receiver. By the fourth time we call this fucking play, we're like, okay, this is what Urban was talking about. We're literally going to run this play over and over and over again until they stop it. By the fifth time we're in the huddle, he calls a play. We're all kind of laughing like, what the fuck? We're seriously going to run the same play over and over again. We march about 80 yards down the field, score a touchdown. He might have called the same play 8 or 9 times in that drive. Alex hits 4 or 5 different receivers, and we just march the football straight down the field and score a touchdown. Precision. Precise execution. See, I've been on shitty teams, and I've been on really, really great teams. It wasn't like Urban was the smartest X's and O guy that you'll ever see on the football field. What he was great at was getting his teams, whether it was Bowling Green or Utah or Florida or Ohio State, to execute with precision in the things that were important. I've had other coaches where playbooks were as big as this house. We practiced just as fucking hard as I did on the good teams. Our execution wasn't tight. It wasn't precise. Yes, you can out-effort a lesser opponent. Yes, you can out-effort an equal opponent. No. At some point, if you want to win championships, if you want to be a champion in your life, you're going to have to win with execution. That doesn't mean that we're not going to work hard. That doesn't mean the effort isn't important. But you have to put effort in the right places. And that's what I wanted to put into framework for you today. Sometimes you get so caught up just doing, and you're telling yourself this story that with just a little bit more effort, you're going to fucking win. I'm here to tell you that that's not the case. Take a step back. analyze your execution. If your execution isn't on point, or if there's room for you to add precision to your execution, whether it be your fitness, whether it be your business, whether it be your career, and you just focus in a little bit more on the things that actually fucking matter, that's when you're gonna win.
Thank you so much for joining us for another amazing episode of The Show with John Madsen. The greatest compliment that you could give us is liking, loving, and sharing this episode with all of your friends. So please go to iTunes, leave us a 5-star rating and review, and then share it online with everyone that you know. Make sure to tag John as well. He loves to hear from listeners of the show. The links for all of his socials and iTunes are in the show notes. Also, if you'd like to engage John for anything related to his coaching, consulting, or programs, please visit johnmadsen.com for everything you'd need to know on how to engage with John offline. And lastly, thank you for your time, your attention, and your consideration. This is The Show.